bringing you the news and information you need from the people making a difference. This is Comcast Newsmakers.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Mark Curtis. We're going to bring you some inspiration and optimism today. Those are a couple of topics that are dealt with in a new book by our friend Carmine Gallo, author and communications coach. I should hold up your book. It's called Fire Them Up, and 7 simple secrets to inspire colleagues and customers, and etc. We'll get to all of those here shortly. Carmine, good to have you here again.
Nice to have me.
And I guess people are looking for inspiration right now. And one of the topics you're writing on is how to be an inspiring leader. Why is that important?
Well, I actually write a column, in addition to books, I write a column for Business Week. And in August, they're having a special issue called The Case for Optimism.
Okay.
And they asked me to make a contribution to it because I've interviewed extraordinary men and women who lead some of the nation's greatest companies. And I did that for the book. But the one quality that they all have in common is optimism. In fact, they're really down the line more optimistic than the average person. And so what they've tried to teach me is that each and every one of us, whether you're a parent or a nonprofit leader or a community leader or a business owner, you have the ability to inspire and to motivate and to positively impact the people in your personal or professional lives. But you must have an optimistic personality. That's the one thing that makes the biggest difference in inspirational leadership.
Is that especially true in bad times? Because I've done studies on presidential speeches, and Ronald Reagan and Barack Obama have something in common in that they have been presidents during very, very bad recessions, and they've been both very optimistic speakers. And it seems like people want to be uplifted even more so in bad times.
And it's interesting you brought up Ronald Reagan. Colin Powell said that optimism was the secret behind his charisma. And in fact, Colin Powell once said that optimism is a force multiplier. You know, speaking of history, there's a real great piece that I wrote about for Business Week. Historically, real quickly, June 4th, 1940. Winston Churchill's first speech as Prime Minister. Everybody, Franklin Roosevelt, the British people, the British Parliament, everybody expected him to announce a surrender with Germany. Yeah. And of course he didn't. It was his famous, we shall fight in France, so we shall fight on the seas, we shall never surrender speech.
Right.
I talked to an expert in that time period. 80% of the British public, before that speech, were opposed to going to war with Germany. Right after the speech, complete turnaround. 80% were in favor of fighting on. That's the power.
Yeah.
Optimism and your words can influence an entire country.
The thing is, people look to others for optimism and inspiration. They're looking for their political leaders or their boss at work or what have you. You talk about the importance of people looking within themselves to inspire themselves and be optimistic in and of themselves. Why is that important?
Well, here's my pet peeve, is when a boss or a leader sends his staff to a motivational conference to get motivated. Or go listen to this tape to get motivated. No, you're the one that your employees spend 8, 9, 10 hours a day with. You're the one who needs to motivate them. And you can motivate them by offering a candid assessment of the situation, of the problem, no sugarcoating of facts, developing and articulating a clear strategy for overcoming the problem, and then painting a picture of what the company or organization will look like once that problem or the battle has been won.
We have only about 30 seconds left, but I want to come back to this because we are in a particularly bad economy and people are discouraged. I know people that go to work every day, particular folks in the the mass media industry, going, is today my last day?
Yeah, right.
And you don't. So how do you keep yourself inspired and motivated and optimistic when the clouds are gathering?
There's a guy named Marty Seligman. He's the father of positive psychology. He's been studying this stuff for 30 years. He said optimism can be learned. At the end of the day, he said, take 3 things that have gone well during the day and think about your contribution to making them successful. He said, believe it or not, that's the one thing that works.
Well, the other thing is optimism is also contagious.
It
so
is,
that helps, it spreads. All right, Carmine Gallo, again, the book is called Fire Them Up, and folks should look for your Business Week columns coming up in August as well. Carmine, good to see you. Your website is www.carminegallo.com. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on Comcast Newsmakers. Join us again next time. I'm Mark Curtis.